What's up, guys? This is Ryan, also known as Florida Gator News here. How you guys doing? Wednesday, the 29th, I'm bringing you my picks of the week. Let's check out an Alabama pregame. I got that up yesterday. Go ahead and click my name. Go check that out. And the Kentucky postgame put on Monday, which is click my name, check it out. I'm not in the greatest mood because of this, but whatever. So, on to our picks. Only 15 games this week for the top 20 teams. It's just that there's a couple double headers here. So let's go ahead and get started. Louisiana Monroe and Auburn. Auburn 34.5-point favorites, coming off an upset win over South Carolina. And it's 12. Obviously, Auburn should cover, and they will cover. This is going to be a complete blowout, obviously. Miami, Florida at Clemson. Miami only 2.5-point favorites at noon. Obviously, I think Miami will get adjusted to the heat. It depends on what it's like up there in South Carolina that day. But I think Miami's a lot more speed and a lot more stamina, and their defense just overall way better. Their front seven's going to get to Kyle Parker, and that's going to force some turnovers, and Miami's going to win and cover as well. Ohio State at Illinois. Ohio State only 17.5-point favorites, coming off against a 73-20 blowout win against Eastern Michigan. Who do I like in this one? Well, I do like Ohio State because Runzook seems to play well against Ohio State. I think Ohio State won by 20 because Illinois has a pretty decent defense, and I mean they show up against Ohio State every year. I love the Zooker too, so but unfortunately I'm picking Ohio State by 20. TCU at Colorado State. TCU 33.5-point favorites. It's a 2 o'clock Eastern time game. TCU coming off a Friday night win at SMU right across the street, and now they're going to go to a little West Coast type, but I think they can easily cover this 33.5-point spread as long as the offense does what it keeps on doing. Michigan at Indiana. Michigan 13.5-point favorites. Obviously, Denard Robertson is going to start after his knee injury against Bowling Green. I think he's still going to be a little shaken up from that. And it's on the road, and Indiana is a quite good offensive team, from what I remember. And they always seem to play Michigan tough, and I think they'll continue that. And I don't think they'll win, though, but I don't think Michigan will cover. I have Indiana in that one. The 3:30 ESPN game, CBS game, Tennessee at LSU. LSU 14.5-point favorites. Yes, LSU's defense is great, and Tennessee's offense is horrible. But Tennessee's defense is good enough, and LSU's offense is great. Obviously, LSU has a lot more speed than Tennessee, but I don't think it's enough to cover the 14.5-point spread. I see it as a 17-10 type win. Picking Tennessee. The Red River rivalry, Texas at Oklahoma. Obviously, Texas coming off a blowout loss for the first time at home under Mack Brown's coaching reign, and I think Oklahoma is obviously going to prove that they're a lot better than Texas, which I do think they are. So I have Oklahoma covering the 4.5-point spread over Texas. I see them winning by 10. Virginia Tech at NC State, 3.5-point favorite is Virginia Tech. NC State is the ranked team. Virginia Tech only have one win this year. Obviously losing their first game to Boise State and then losing their second to a shocker, James Madison. Obviously, I do think Virginia Tech's a lot better road team than people think. And NC State undefeated. I just don't see NC State winning. As a matter of fact, I see Virginia Tech blowing them out. It's just because I think NC State, we don't know what they're really made of yet. They've played some weak teams. Virginia Tech's obviously a lot stronger, and obviously has more talent, and that's going to show up in North Carolina State against the Wolfpack, so they'll definitely win. Here's one of the toughest picks of the week, maybe even of the year. Wisconsin at Michigan State. Wisconsin 1.5-point favorites. Obviously, Michigan State's got a great offense. Wisconsin's got a good defense. Wisconsin's got a good offense, and Michigan State's got an okay defense. I see Wisconsin winning this one, but it's going to come down in the fourth quarter, and I think they're going to win by a field goal, maybe a little bit more, maybe a touchdown. Boise State at New Mexico State. 39.5-point favorites are Boise State. Now, I know this is a lot, but Boise State's got a great offense. I think they're going to win 50-something to 20-something. Or 60-something to 20-something, excuse me. I do think they will cover that 39.5-point spread. It is very, it's a lot of points to pick. But, obviously, if it's anybody that could do it, it's Boise State. Obviously, our game, 8 o'clock CBS, 7 o'clock Central Time. I will be in Tuscaloosa, Alabama to see my Florida Gators take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama 9.5-point favorites to get Florida. If you saw my predictions for the Alabama-Florida game, you know who I have already. But if you don't, I think Florida is going to win this game. Not just because I'm a Florida fan. I think they have a lot more momentum on their side. I think that's going to carry over, and I'm not going to get into it, but I think Florida's going to win, and it's going to be by a field goal or a touchdown, so I picked Florida. The game of the week, College Game Day is going to be there. Stanford, number 9, at number 4, Oregon. Oregon's 7.5-point favorites. Now, obviously, you guys know these two are very highly powered offensive teams. Andrew Luck on Stanford, they're scoring 30-plus points a game. Oregon is scoring 40-plus points a game. And I think it's all going to come down who's actually going to step on the defense. I do think it is going to be Oregon that will step up on defense. Just because I think their offense is a little bit more high-powered. And Andrew Luck doesn't have really too much talent surrounded around him. So he's going to have to do stuff on his own. I think that's just going to break down. It's the talent. And obviously, I think Oregon has a lot more talent on offense. Oregon wins by 10. Washington at USC. This is also another tough pick of this week. Obviously, Washington beat USC last year when USC was number 3. And this was in Washington. This year, it's at USC. USC's 10.5-point favorites for the first time they covered a spread. But obviously, I think Washington's offense is a lot more high-powered than I forgot how USC played last week, but them are obviously a lot more better than Washington State. And just for that reason, it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think Washington might win this one. So I have Washington over USC. Penn State at Iowa. Penn State using their freshman quarterback on the road against Iowa at night. Obviously, Penn State's seeking for revenge. This is a great Big Ten game, along with the Wisconsin-Michigan State game. But I do have Iowa winning by around 9, maybe 2 touchdowns against Penn State. So Iowa's defense is way too veteran-like for this freshman quarterback of Penn State, and I think that's what's going to cause some differences, and then Iowa, Ricky Stanley, take it away from there. Last game, Nevada at UNLV. Nevada ranked for the first time in, I believe, in a long time. They're 19.5-point favorites, 10 o'clock Eastern Time at UNLV. That high-powered pistol offense at Nevada is going to roll over UNLV and cover that 19.5-point spread. So I have the tiebreaker at 76. I think it's going to be like 40 to 10 something. And just make sure whatever your tiebreaker is, it's above 50, because this is going to be a high-scoring one by Nevada. Alright, guys, Ryan also knows Florida Gator news here. These are college football picks week 5. They are out of the way and done with. So far I got 50 right. That's more than 65% of the games. So, alright, guys. That's it. I'm out. Peace.